This is the show your college professor warned you about. Prepare to be triggered. You're listening to The Patriarchy with Ian and Sal.
Holy shit. We are live. Finally. Episode 31 of The Patriarchy Show with Ian and myself, Sal. It's been a rough couple episodes for Ian and I. Ain't that right?
Yeah, the last episode, apparently only 40 minutes got uploaded to YouTube, and I haven't heard back from them. Probably won't. Well, I got one response from a guy named Ralph in the engineering department, but not a word since. And then we tried to use this new software today, get on at 10 o'clock. You know, it was working, of course, during the week, but of course, as soon as we're about to go on, it shits the bed.
Garbage.
Like my grandma, shit in the bed. My poor grandma.
That wasn't too nice.
Yeah, it was terrible. I'm a terrible human. I'm just fucking pissed. What are you gonna do? So joining us in probably 2 minutes. It's gonna be Chris Logan of loganswarning.com. We're gonna talk about those dirty Muslims. And the clean Muslims, too. You got to qualify.
Where do you find those guys?
Which ones?
Clean ones.
Turkish bathhouses? I don't know.
I would think the cleanest they get is when you throw acid on them. I don't know.
Yeah. You were raped by 3 people. We throw acid in your face, you whore of a goat.
This.
Fucking terrible. So last night, where was I?
You were walking around Manhattan.
Walking around Manhattan, you know, getting no. Went to New York City Crime Report, hung out with Pat Dixon. It was fun, you know.
It
was always a good time. You were there on the couch, right?
Yeah, it was a good time, man.
It's always a fun time. I always appreciate when Pat Dixon has me on the show, and of course vice versa.
Yeah, he's been too nice to us.
Yeah, stop it. Comedians are supposed to be dicks. What is happening?
Man, our issues will get better, I promise.
Yeah, we try to improve the production quality, and
while testing that quality, I get us suspended from our own YouTube for 3 months.
Yeah, if you notice, this isn't the Patriarchy Show channel; it's NewMediaCentral.net channel.
That was nice of New Media Central to let us do this.
Yeah, wow, great guys, great couple guys. Yeah. I'm going to improve the description and all this shit because we had to throw this together at the last second because we thought we were going to do this a different way. You guys don't care. Why are we telling them about this shit? They're like, oh, great. They're talking about how their webcams suck. Thanks, guys. Ugh, we stink.
Oh, well.
Yeah. All right. Well, with us, just joined us, as we were just saying, Chris Logan. Chris Logan is a hard-hitting street reporter and the founder of loganswarning.com, also the president of North American Infidels, an anti-Islam political activism organization. He's also been quoted on nationwide radio, such as Salem Radio Network. His writings have been seen on sites Atlas Shrugged, Family Security Matters, Jihad Watch, Right Side News, and just recently, New Media Central. Chris, how you doing? Not there. Will you look at that? Of course tonight.
When he calls in, it usually takes him a good 2 minutes to get his audio up and running.
Yeah. Of course, tonight it's like a shit production night.
It's all good.
Yeah. Let me see what's going on here. Chris, can you hear us? I guess that means no.
I guarantee you he can hear us. He's a
Yeah. Chris, if you can hear us, click out, then click back in.
How's this?
Oh, there you are. Oh, look
There
at
we
that.
go.
How about that?
All right, guys. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, good. Did you hear the intro I gave you?
Of course. Beautiful. Thank you.
All right, good. Holy crap. What a night. Freaking stressful. So, I mean, I wanted to have you on for a few reasons. Mainly to talk about moderate Islam. We talked about moderate Islam before. Just give us, I guess, a quick synopsis or survey of the myth that is moderate Islam.
Okay. About 2 weeks ago, America's moderate Muslim, so-called moderate Muslim poster boy, Zuhdi Jasser, attacked Robert Spencer, Pamela Geller, and a couple of their colleagues, saying they were aiding the jihad, called them all jihadists.
Right.
What he was saying was that they're helping the Saudis and the mullahs of Iran, and all they're doing is reading from the Quran. So it's not that they agree with the Quran; they're just reading as the Saudis and the mullahs are reading. They're just telling the public what Islam is. Obviously, this disturbed Zuhdi Jasser, so he attacked them. He actually broke his usual charming on-air persona and called them youthful idiots.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's not like him. He's usually Prince Charming in a tie with the smile.
Yeah. I mean, Robert Spencer, you mentioned he runs Jihad Watch, and Pamela Geller, you mentioned she runs Atlas Shrugged. She was also the one in Texas that held the Muhammad Art show where the terrorists showed up to try to kill her and was gunned down by cops, right?
Correct.
So there's an internal fight. Well, not internal fight anymore. I mean, I think people are starting to realize Zuhdi Jasser and the Clarion Foundations are a bunch of frauds because they were teaming up with them for a little while, right?
Well, Zuhdi Jasser is a board member of Clarion.
Right.
And Zuhdi Jasser also runs the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. Now, if we start with Zuhdi Jasser's organization, if you go to his site, there's a link to Islamic Reformation. If you click on the link, it's a blank page. It says under construction, which is flat out insulting because this organization has been up and running for 14 years.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me two things here. In 14 years, he can't figure out how he's going to reform Islam. Secondly, in 14 years, no one in the media has ever thought of to ask him how it's going to reform.
Right. I mean, it's the only way to reform Islam is to, stop reading the Quran and don't be a Muslim.
It's just not going to happen. And it's a fantasy that's sold by him. It's sold by Clarion.
Right.
It's sold by Frank Gaffney. And if you ask any of them, it's a simple question. How is it going to reform? So recently, I had started a new Twitter account because my last account was suspended because Muslims kept reporting me for speaking about Islam. So I asked Zuhdi, how are you going to reform Islam? Block button. There's another woman. This is Frank Gaffney's latest flavor of the month, so-called moderate, Cyrene Kadozi. I asked her, how are you going to reform Islam? She refers me to a non-Muslim Facebook friend and says, ask him.
Right.
What is that? So after that, she goes, I thought I had you blocked, and she blocks me again.
Oops.
Then the leader of the pack, Frank Gaffney, who was always smarter than most of them, because he wouldn't engage with me. Because if you engage with me, I'm going to make it worse for you. I'm going to keep hitting you with verse after verse and hadith. So he finally blocked me. So they're feeling the heat. And then the Clarion Fund, which literally, as Ian knows, she has the financials.
Yeah,
They
I got
bring
the
in
documents.
Tens of millions of dollars of donations to push this fantasy that Islam's going to reform. So I was in a joint email with the Dr. Carl Goldberg, and Carl was questioning Jeremy. He's from Clarion. How is this woman, Raheel Raza? She's another one of their faces of this phony reform movement. How is she going to reform Islam? And there were no specifics. So let me actually just read to you. It's very short. So I chimed in. I said, Jeremy, Quran verses 1064, 1827 state the words of Allah cannot be changed. Right. So why should we believe that her words will override Allah's? Why does she spend so much time talking to non-Muslims who have no say in Islamic jurisprudence at all? Please show me just one interpretation of the Quran that does not call for dominance over non-Muslims as per verse 929. Now, Jeremy was very polite. His answer was, I would like to get Raheel to respond directly to your questions. Please give me a few days. That was 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, guys.
Well, still waiting with bated breath. I don't think we're going to hear back.
It's coming. It's coming. The check's in the mail.
Yeah. Yeah. So Muhammad's work or Allah's work, the Quran, say it can't be changed. And every time a reformer tries to change it, like the guy in Arizona in '93 who got his neck slit by a Canadian Muslim terrorist. Every time they try to do something, even in the West, they get their head ripped off.
Well, if you go back into the Quran, verse 211 says they are reformers who are spreading corruption in the land or mischief.
Right.
And if you go into verse 533, the penalty for spreading mischief can be death. So Islam is not going to reform. It's technically waging war against Allah, trying to reform it. And what the most ludicrous part of the whole thing is, all these non-Muslims, Frank Gaffney, Daniel Pipes, Ryan Moreau of Clarion, Brooke Goldstein, Jamie Glazor. He's another one who won't criticize. He's a big Zudi supporter.
Okay.
Andrew McCarthy, another one who supports Jassa. None of them will question him, and they all push the same message: it's killing America.
Right.
What
the really scary part is how much access do these guys with these ideas? How much access do they have to President Trump?
Yeah, that's the scary part. Let me just follow up with what I was saying. So these non-Muslims, these prominent non-Muslims, they're technically waging war on Islam, and they want the public to believe that enough Muslims are going to follow their lead into a reformation of Islam. And you could also add to the list apostate Hershey Ali. She keeps pushing for reform, saying it's going to reform. She wrote a book on it.
Right.
No, it's not. And you
her and Wilders got into it, right?
Who's that?
Her and Geert Wilders got into it, right?
Well, they used to be together in the Netherlands, and his policies were obviously too tough for her. She's hard to explain because she says Islam's a problem. Then she shifts to Islamism is a problem, which there is no Islamism.
Right.
Then she's against banning the burqa. She's against mass deportations of Muslims. She's against ending all Muslim immigration, and she's against banning the Quran.
Okay.
So her policy, she's just keeping Islam alive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no way to get the enemy out of Europe.
No,
it's not gonna happen. I mean, Turkey is essentially the floodgates that's been keeping the hordes back, and they've been bribing Europe, saying, "Hey, listen, if you don't cooperate, we're gonna let our people into your country." So imagine allowing your own citizens into another country is a punishment for that country. How shitty do your citizens have to be?
Turkey's the Trojan horse.
Yeah, never gonna be Europe. But anyway, so back to the moderate Islam shit. So we got Zuni Jasser, Clarion Foundation, been around since I think 2008. We saw when they opened in 2008, they got a huge cash injection from some fund. I mean, it was like what, 18 million?
It's probably 18, 20 million.
Yeah. and they've been kind of stocking the money here and there, keeping it up, and the access they have to Trump is the most worrisome part because of this Islamism. Can you explain what is Islamism?
A politically correct term that's used not to offend Muslims,
Right?
Which is easily proven because there's the Quran. There's only the Quran. And what is that? That's the Book of Islam.
Right.
It's not the Book of Islamism. It's the Book of Islam, which also means there's no Islamists. These organizations make it sound like this Islamist, you're an Islamist, you're a bad guy. What you are, if you want to use that term. But it makes it sound like your average Muslim's no problem. Muslims are good, Islamists are bad, and they're in this fantasy that they're going to sort them all out. Which is, how long is this going to take? 1,000 years? It's another fantasy that's never going to happen.
Right. It's been 1,400 years and nothing's happened. And you hear the word. I hear the word Islamism. There's no such thing as like Hinduism or atheism. Why does Islamism get the extra ism? Because they're trying to be politically correct cucks.
They say they're going to sort these people out, and the moderates are going to take over. But they're trying to sort out a group of people that keep telling us there's more of us than you. You can't stop us.
Well, yes. Well, if you want to go into moderate and extreme, use that terminology for now, which I don't bother because they're just Muslims. But how's a moderate force going to stop an extreme force? Exactly. It's like a Toyota smashing into a Mack truck. Who's going to win?
Yeah.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. It's like whenever we hear the left go, oh, we're gonna go to civil war with the right. Yeah, guess who has all the law enforcement and everything behind them and all the guns? You idiots. That's the last thing you want.
Bring it.
Yeah. No, I don't want that to happen. But if we keep importing these people who obviously are not conforming or integrating, like the Irish, the Italians, and pretty much every other immigrant group, the Sikhs, for God's sakes, even have. It's not working. We need to get rid of them. What do you suggest? What do you think should happen, Chris? America should do?
Well, this goes for the entire West. The West is doomed if Muslim immigration is allowed to continue. It's just a matter of time. The Quran preaches patience to Muslims. It guarantees them victory, but it says be patient about it. So this is no rush. It's been 1,400 years. There's 196 countries now, and 50 of them are Muslim dominated. So they're not going to stop there.
Right. So just go in slowly, keep having children, keep getting influence, get a strong minority, and then you get to become the mayor of London, and then what's the next step?
Silencing the critics of Islam. That's the end. If you can't name the enemy, you can't defeat the enemy, and they know this full well. And that's why these media terms, Islamism, or this guy's an Islamist, and this guy's a radical Islamist, and this guy's a Muslim Islamist extremist, whatever they keep bringing up and inventing, it's not helping at all. They're Muslims. In the Hadith, Muhammad said Muslims. So you're going to tell me Sean Hannity or any of these, even Michael Savage uses the terminology. Do they know Islam better than Muhammad did? Of course not. So define the enemy on their terms. They say Islam and Muslims. So what's the problem? Repeat it.
Yeah. I think we're soft in our liberal ways of life, and how the West has progressed. It obviously makes us want to think everyone's equal. When sorry to say, not all cultures and religions are equal.
No.
Some are shitty, like Islam. I don't know what to tell you, folks. It's just the way it is.
Oh, that's a little harsh. Come on.
Oh, I know. I'm a naughty boy. But Chris, what country has been able to survive a large minority population of Muslims without it being turned into an Islamic country?
It's just a matter of time, like I said. Look at India. India is the perfect example of how tolerating Islam, how respecting it as a religion, is a slow cultural suicide. As you know, Pakistan used to be part of India. Muslims got that annexed off. Kashmir is the next slice of land they want. And in 2050, it is projected that India is going to have the largest Muslim population in the world. What do you think is going to happen?
Right.
Shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
No, it looks really bad. Because I mean, even what's the most populous Muslim country isn't even an Arab country. It's Indonesia, right?
Right.
So it's an Asian country. I mean, and they're growing in China. Was it the Uyghurs or whatever? They're causing trouble over there. They got the asshole in St. Petersburg in Russia. They confirmed that was Muslim, right, Chris?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Have you heard anything on what Putin plans to do in retaliation?
No, not yet. I was offline all day, but I know he won't let them take over in the end. China's not going to let it happen, but
Right.
it's at the point, Russia already had a civil war with Muslims there, so that could ignite at any time.
Right. Yeah, they're pushing the borders. They're pushing the boundaries outside of the 57 states where Islam is the dominant religion. I mean, Egypt was a Christian country. Lebanon was a Christian country. Syria was a Christian country. For God's sake, Constantinople was the gem of Christendom at one point, and now it's shitty old Istanbul.
Even Saddam Hussein tolerated Christians for a little while.
Yeah, the Chaldeans in northern Iraq. He protected them. It sucks to say, Chris, right, that sometimes you need a monster to control a monster, and
He was
what's that?
No, he was a monster, but when he was taken out of power, the Muslims there couldn't wait to persecute the Christians.
Oh yeah,
So,
they couldn't wait to persecute themselves. Hey, I don't know if anyone listening watches the show Rick and Morty. It's a cartoon that I watch. It's funny. It's on Adult Swim. Like there was a civilization. They had different sized nipples, but they were exactly the same. But they fought because they had different sized nipples. That's just like Muslims. Like you don't dye your beard orange enough. We must cut off your head. It's like, come on, guys. You guys can't even get along with each other. I mean, it took a while for the West and for Christians to get on with each other, but at least there were lulls. Within Islam, they're killing each other more than anybody else.
well, it would go even further. If they wiped us all out, they would just further turn on each other for not being quote unquote Islamic enough.
Yeah. I mean, Islamic conversion or Islamic domination of a country, it seems to be to turn them into be more Arab than Islam, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it seems to me. Like it's just like an Arab-centric religion that wants to spread itself across the world. I mean,
hard to argue that.
Yeah, well, that's where it was based, and that's what Muhammad was. So, I mean, the guy was a warmonger from the start. Now, all of a sudden, 1,400 years later, oh, it's changed. We changed our minds. What?
Another reason it's not going to reform is, I hate to admit it, but we're losing this war right now.
Right.
The West is being changed to suit Islam. If they keep going the way they are, nobody bans Islam. They don't even have to fire another shot to win. It's just a matter of time. So if they're on the verge of victory, why would enough of them want to change reform Islam? It doesn't even make sense.
Right. And I know this is a tired analogy, but I see it akin to allowing Nazis to come over during World War II. Why would you do that? It's suicide. Hey, come on over, young Adolf. Let's come hang out.
Well, that's a good analogy, because when you look at, there's also this notion going around that only violent Muslims are a problem. They're the only threat. Well, not all Nazis killed. There were Nazi cooks. There were Nazi medics.
Right.
And in the Quran,
George Soros.
George Soros.
Yeah.
There's verses in the Quran that instruct Muslims how to aid the jihad, the violent jihad, with non-violent actions. For instance, Quran 2195 says, "Spend in the way of God, in obedience to Him, in holy struggle." I'll skip a little bit ahead here. By withholding funds needed for the struggle, or abandoning it altogether, because this will give your enemy the advantage over you. So, if a Muslim donates to their mosque, if they give to any Islamic charity, they're aiding the violent jihad.
Wow.
That's their part in this. If you go to verse 16, 125, call mankind, O Muhammad, to the way of your Lord. This we see every day. Muslims are online proselytizing like maniacs. They don't. I'll give them that. They don't let up.
No.
They're always trying to bring people to Islam, and they're not. They're doing their part without killing once again. So Muslims don't have to be violent to be a threat. They all do their part.
Right. And it's a lot of them are doing it in the jails where people are already there as criminals and violent. You know, a lot of these guys you hear they were in jail and we were tracking them, all of a sudden they blow themselves up.
Well, Muslims are preying on people that are already mad at the system.
Right.
So, no, the government sucks. Look what they did to you. You're being oppressed.
Right.
Here's Islam. We'll save you from oppression and et cetera, et cetera. So those are a lot of easy targets in prison.
Yeah, and then they get out of prison, then they proselytize to their friends on the streets. I mean, you walk through Manhattan, sometimes they're just on the corner yelling, holding up the Quran.
Yes, they are. They come outside of. There's a mosque. It's on like 26th Street. Don't quote me on that. It's in that vicinity.
Yeah.
And after prayers, after the sermon, they come out into the street, and all the men, they're mingling, talking, chatting on the side, and they have 2 or 3 women in full darkness. Looks like Afghanistan. With those, remember those old lunch bags we used to have, the brown bags? You take the and they have those bags in their hand, and they're begging for money. And all the men don't help them. The women are just watching them get money for Islam. They bring out tables with all these books, the Bukhari Hadith, the Shi'i Muslim Hadith, which is pure hatred, and they just keep going. It's a machine. It's a non-stop propaganda machine.
Right. Hey, Chris, you're a little echoey. Can you anyway tweet that?
Tweet it?
Yeah, tweet it. It's just a little bit of an echo.
I don't think so. I can call back in.
No, wait, we're good. There it is. What did you do?
It was the will of Allah.
Ah, yeah. Muhammad intervened with the sword. Fuck it out. I mean, in the UK right now, in London, us talking the way we're talking right now, we could get in trouble for a hate crime. Am I right?
That's correct. People are being sentenced for speaking out against Islam. And one of the organizations, the Muslim organization called Tell Mama UK, which sounds so nice. You know, Mama's here, everything's going to be all right, it's all peace. And if you go on Twitter and just ask them a simple question, show them a hateful verse 930, which says to destroy Christians and Jews, and ask them to condemn the verse, they won't.
Right.
But they'll report you. They'll report you to Twitter. And if you live in the UK, they'll actually call the police on you. Since there's nothing they can do to me here, they just block me because
not yet, at least.
They're the hate mongers.
Not yet. Which is a perfect point, Chris. The hypocrisy. So here's this book. It says they have to kill Christians and Jews and Christians, apes and pigs and all this other shit. And they won't condemn the verse that they preach, which is technically hate speech. But if you condemn that verse, that talks about hate speech, you're the one practicing hate speech. Holy fucking shit, my head exploded. Try to wrap your mind around that one.
It makes no sense. They could go into a mosque, read these hateful verses, and no one in our government, well, maybe a few, no one says anything. They're not being prosecuted for it.
Right.
And say, look at this verse. It says this and that, the other thing, It's a threat to us, and look, you're going to jail.
Yep.
I got stuff going on here. No, it's obviously it's absurd. Now, again, last time you were on, we went on to like the basics of Islam, and people could check out that episode. Chris Logan, I think it was 20. I can't remember, but the Muslims, they follow. There's two main things they follow, right? The Quran and the traditions called the Hadith. Can you delineate between the two for people that might not know?
Sure. Well, Muslims believe the Quran is the literal word of Allah, which is their God, obviously. The Hadith are the words and deeds of Muhammad, his practices, what he did in certain situations. There's numerous Hadith. The two main ones are called the Shadi Hadith, Bukhari and Muslim. Those are respected by all four major Sunni schools of Islamic jurisprudence, and at least 85% of Muslims, those are Sunni schools, are Sunnis.
Right.
So these hadiths show that Muhammad cut off limbs, had eyes gouged out, that he took sex slaves, that he had sex with a 9-year-old, that he was going to drive all Christians and Jews out of the Arabian Peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a hero to Muslims across the world. And the Quran, verse 33:21, says to follow his actions for all time. There's no expiration date on this barbarity.
Right. Now, some Muslims I've spoken with online, they go, well, we don't follow the Hadith. Now, are they either lying outright or are they part of the Quran only sect? And what's happening on with that?
Well, in the Hadith, when they pray, they have special prayer movements. Mm-hmm. That's in the Hadith. So if you bring that up, you got them trapped.
Right. So if you ask them, do you pray towards Mecca? Do you go through the rituals? And they say yes. Obviously, they're following the Hadith.
Yes.
Right. So then, but what if they say no? What if they say we don't do that? We're Quran only. Well, we're reforming.
Okay, you could just go back to the same points I made. 424, 425, 3350, all sanction the taking of sex slaves.
Right.
24-2. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I just think the Quran only people are just bullshitting us because they do pray, and you have Muslims arguing with these guys, in Iran, in Saudi Arabia, which are different types of Muslims, Sunni and Shia, arguing with the Quran only guys as well. So I think it's just another lie, which I think is under Shia. What's it called? Taqiyya?
Taqiyya, the line.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an online propaganda move. I've run into plenty of Muslims that say, I'm Quran only, and they're implying it's no threat.
Right.
That's just the Hadith, and they're hoping you don't know anything about the Quran. But when you go into the verses like I just mentioned, or 383, 929, 933, they all call for dominance over non-Muslims, whether we like it or not. 929 says to do it by force if need be. So it's the same threat. There's just more detail in the Hadith.
Yeah, there's more bloodshed in this book than this book.
Right.
More detail. In the Hadith, they actually talk about gouging out the eyes. It's like a color TV and a black and white TV. But so, I think we built a pretty strong foundation on why Islam shouldn't be accepted in the West or anywhere else really in the world unless they want to commit suicide, cultural suicide. Again, I think they're just preying on our liberal sensibility and our good nature to want to accept everybody. But we have to get to a point and say, no, fuck you. That culture sucks. Raping albinos to cure AIDS sucks. There are a lot of cultures that suck and religions that suck, and Islam is one of them. Not that, in Islam you rape albinos to cure AIDS, but actually there are tribes in Africa that do that. So, you can't say all cultures are great, because there are some really shitty ones out there.
Well, Islam says our culture is not great.
Right.
Verse 3110 states that Muslims are the best of mankind. So what does that say for the rest of us?
Well, isn't that nice of them to tell themselves that they're great? It's like Muhammad's writing the Quran. We're awesome! Exclamation point.
Motivational quotes. They should put that on the calendar.
Oh,
You guys rock. If you follow me into war, I swear you'll get all the chicks and all the gold we can find. It's like, yeah, of course you'd say that. Fucking asshole.
that's what he said. Surah 8 spoils the war. War booty. Take the belongings of those he defeated in war, take sex slaves. It's a free-for-all. So that's why you get these maniacs converted to it.
Right, yeah. They love it. They get what is it? I think 4 wives in Islam, or is it 4 or 5?
Up to 4 wives and unlimited number of sex slaves.
Oh, so unlimited.
4 wives, 3 sex, and albino.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds like a Saturday night for you.
No one was supposed to know that, man.
Yeah, now we
Now
know.
it's out there. Oh, boy. I'm never calling into this show again.
Yeah. Sal's a secret Muslim. He has a Quran under his pillow.
Yeah, right next to my Jewish wife.
Yeah. So, all right. Seriously. I'm trying to be serious and cracking out right now. All right. So, you have the Quran, and you delineate between the Quran and the one's just more graphic than the other, or whatever. The Quran-only Muslims, if you ask them if they pray to Mecca and follow the rituals, they're lying if they say the Quran only. So, might be taqiyya or who knows, whatever. Just a Muslim lying to gain advantage. What else, or what other techniques do Muslims use to try to feel or make us feel like they're being persecuted?
Interfaith meetings. That is one of their most dangerous weapons in their arsenal. If you Google it, you can see at least one a week that's going to show up in the news, where they either are invited into churches and they read a few passages and questions, or they have an open house at a mosque and they read a few passages that sound non-threatening. And
Just turn.
I've attended these. Read a passage or two, and the non-Muslims, they mostly don't want to know. They don't want to know the truth.
Right.
So they just sit there smiling.
Right. Like the current Pope.
Yeah, Pope Cuck the Third.
There's something very wrong with that man. The problem is these organizations like Clarion. Well, maybe not Clarion. Don't care. I think they're just basically out to mislead the public totally. But Frank Gaffney, let's say, or Daniel Pipes, taking millions of dollars of donations. So how come they're not sending teams of information agents out to these interfaith meetings to counter the Muslim propaganda?
Right. Right. Well, again, liberal sensibilities will be. There's nothing worse than to be called a racist. I know it's dying down, and Islam isn't a race. There's so many reasons why, but it's still. You don't want to be called a racist because it could ruin your career. It could ruin, your standing in the community. It sucks. I mean, I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of, and the Muslims use that as one of their weapons.
That's true, especially in the UK. It seems that when I speak to some of these leftist Brits online, they're more afraid of being falsely labeled a racist than Islam taking over and persecuting their future generations.
All right, Chris. Well, is there anything you want to say before we wrap up with your segment here?
Thanks for the invite. Keep up the good work, and I'll come back whenever you like, guys.
Yeah, man. We love having you on. Once we get the software perfected, we're going to have you on with another very special guest. So people pay attention to that. You can find Chris Logan at loganswarning.com. Your Twitter's at what? At Logan's Warning, not the number 1?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chris. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, man.
Take care.
What do you think of that, Sal?
I learned a lot in that short period of time.
Yeah, we started at what? Like, we started at 10:18. Wow, that was like a 40-minute interview. That kind of flew by.
I learned about the Uyghurs.
Yeah, the Uyghurs and the Wiggers.
A lot of Uyghurs.
Speaking of Wiggers, wait, here. This is the worst joke I've ever written. You want to hear it?
Go ahead.
Totally off subject. Okay, if a white person pretending to be black is a Wigger, is a male pretending to be a female a fail?
Literally.
Oh, that joke failed.
A me fail.
Anyway, but yeah, you learned about the Uyghurs in China. Dude, they just slaughter people with fucking machetes. Chinese Muslims. There's many of them. And I think the government of China might have just tried to take a step to outlaw Islam. But I'm not totally sure. And I know there's this myth that's being sent around that Japan does this to Muslims and Japan does that, and you're not allowed to build a mosque here and there. They're not as strict as the rumors are. My sister-in-law told I asked her, she's from Japan, but yeah, they don't like them. The Japanese don't like them.
Okay.
Not fans, base Japanese, not fans of the Muslims. You know, guess the percentage of Muslims in Japan. It's like 0.0002%. There's none to be found. It sounds like paradise to me. You know, small, tiny women and no Muslims. And samurai swords and ninjas.
If any of them want to move there, they have to live right next to Fukushima.
Yeah, all Muslims, please move to Fukushima, Japan. It's a wonderful place this time of year. So I hear.
Yeah, well, you can live there. We'll provide all the albinos you need to cure your AIDS.
Yeah, fuck every albino. You'll cure your AIDS. You want to gouge out the eyes of a redheaded African woman to cure your anal warts. You stick it up your anus, the eyeball. Be my guest in Fukushima, Japan, Muslims. I was just trying to be as gross as possible. All right, so what we got on our list today? So let's see. We got the. Let's see. We'll stay on Islam, right? So a teen Hispanic convert to Islam tried to kill the Pope when the Pope was here in February. You hear about that?
No, I have not.
Yeah, he tried to kill Pope Cuck. See, even if you appease these guys to the extreme, they don't give a shit. So the Pope appeases them, and it doesn't matter. They still want to shoot you in the head with a high-powered rifle. So yeah, a teen Hispanic convert to Islam tried to kill the Pope, and he says it was inspired by ISIS. And apparently, I learned that ISIS has a magazine they use as a recruiting tool. It's called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Dabiq. Dabiq, you think that's right? D-A-B-I-Q. Yeah, Dabiq. So now, do you think that if he got a hold of like the teen version of Dabiq, like Teen Dabiq?
Maybe.
Like, what do you think like Teen Dabiq would cover? Like what's your topics?
Like
Teen Dabiq.
Like terrorist boy bands or something.
Yeah. Or on the cover it says things like 10 ways to tell the person you are buying guns from is an FBI informant. Life hack: how to get rid of acne when American infidels have you cornered in a cave.
Holy shit.
Here's one. Looking for the perfect wife? Our guide to tell what is really under that burqa. I got one more. Lonely? How goats can feel just as good as the real thing.
Oh, man. Fucking goat. Poor goats.
The goats get raped all the time. If it's not by Muzzies, it's by Scots. Lonely Scots.
That's true.
I love the Scots. I gotta be nice. Gotta be nice.
I didn't know that this Hispanic Muslim was from Jersey.
Yes, he was. Of course, don't figure.
The church bells from the Pope, I hear in the background. Santos Colon, 17, from Camden, of course, Camden, New Jersey. He went to Philly to attempt to kill the Pope when he was there visiting in 2015 in September. Beautiful. If it's not Florida,
His name was Cologne. I bet it stunk.
Was it because he was the Hispanic or the name?
Both. Dude, if we were in like Germany, we'd be, or even Canada, we could be sued by. I think Canada has this thing called the Human Rights Council or Human Rights Commission. We could get sued or put in jail. Talking like this, talking about smelly Hispanic Muslims.
Maybe we should talk about smelly Canadians too.
It's too cold up there to really like smell anything or be too smelly, I think. All right. Let's see. Do you want to stick to Muslims?
Sure.
So actually, no. We'll stick to the New Jersey angle. You see what I'm saying? So apparently, a woman from Newark, New Jersey, of fucking course, Newark, New Jersey, attacked a white couple because the man was being too fancy. In her own words.
Stupid.
Open it up. There's a video.
Yeah, I'm copying this.
Yeah. A Newark woman enraged by fancy white people.
What is fancy about white people in Newark, New Jersey?
Well, no. See, that's the thing. He was in Caroline County, Virginia, and she attacked him with a hammer, and he got all bloody and beaten up, and his Porsche got smashed in, and his boat got smashed in. And I think he was extra sensitive, even though he was getting smashed with a hammer, because people are afraid of the racism. I mean, he was so afraid to fight back while he's getting pounded with a hammer because he didn't want to be in trouble for being racist.
Poor guy.
It's insane. Play the video.
Yeah, it's opening up.
Yeah. I love the video. It looks like someone shot it on their iPhone.
All right, let's play this shit.
Yeah.
Sheriff's deputies are investigating a possible hate crime that occurred at this Exxon station in.
Dude, she's holding a selfie stick.
So she literally is doing an iPhone. Keep playing it though. It's good.
Caroline County Saturday morning. Investigators tell us that they are searching for 26-year-old Angela Jones of Newark, New Jersey. They say that Jones was pumping gas a few pumps over from a gentleman who was on his way back from Florida, heading.
Maybe she was mad because she didn't know how to pump gas, and he was like making fun of her because she's from New Jersey. Yeah, and if those are out of state, in New Jersey, we have a tendency to pump our gas.
Yeah, we don't have to get out of the car.
So he was so fancy, he had a Porsche, and he knew how to pump his own gas. Okay, keep playing it.
To Massachusetts back home. He had a boat on the back of his vehicle when an individual, Miss Jones.
Wait, he was pulling a boat with a Porsche?
Maybe it was a Porsche Cayenne or whatever they're called. Did they have Porsche SUVs?
I hope so. That'd be great watching a little friggin' one of those little tiny things.
He was pulling the boat with a 911 or 944. Did they make 944s? Keep going.
Yeah, those are old, the Carreras or whatever they're called.
He walked up to him and started asking him what his message to her was. Soon after, the victim in this says that Angela pulled out a hammer and started beating at his boat. and then came after him. He suffered multiple scratch wounds to his face. He says that she punched him in the face multiple times. And then he said he was injured after having to take her down to the ground just to make her stop hitting him. He says his wife came out to find him bloodied. And at that time, he says Miss Jones started yelling racial slurs at her and spit in both of their faces. Now, investigators here in Caroline County are prepared to extradite Miss Jones. They are looking for her again in New Jersey.
Okay. Yeah, they'll find her because there's in Newark, New Jersey, there aren't too many angry black women.
I know.
But you see that? I mean, he didn't even strike her. He held her down. What the fuck? You had the hammer.
If
He was like, I don't want to be called racist. I don't want to be called racist. I'm bleeding. I don't want to be called racist, though.
This poor guy is from Massachusetts. He's probably a liberal.
Yeah.
If this guy was
you.
if this guy was from Virginia or further south,
Yeah.
she would have been laying dead on the ground.
Oh, that's for sure. More likely. You think as he's getting hit in the head with the hammer? But I took African American studies in college. Why are you doing this? No, please stop. I was a Martin Luther King Jr. scholar in college.
Man.
I watch MSNBC every night. Why are you doing this to me? I'm a good white person.
Angela Jones.
So if you find an angry black woman in North New Jersey, apparently let the police know.
I wonder if this is anywhere near our friend Ralph. Maybe he saw it happen.
In Virginia? Yeah. It's Virginia.
He was in the next lane pumping his own.
Yeah. He was like, "Fuck, I don't want to be involved in this at all." just got married for God's sake. Oh, might as well do it. Congratulate Ralph of the RalphRetort.com and his then fiance.
Yeah, man, that was great. Congrats.
Congrats on the nuptials. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah,
that was a short engagement.
How long were they engaged for?
Not that long. Well, not that long. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Because I think I was engaged to my wife for 4 months.
Okay.
About 4 months. 4 months.
I was dating my wife for only a year when I proposed to her, and then we were engaged for a year and a half.
Yeah, my wife and I were dating for a year, and then got married, proposed, and then married 3 to 4 months later. When you know, Sal.
I don't know, man. It's
you had some nice words to say about your wife earlier. You're like, she's such a wonderful woman. I'm so lucky.
I tweeted to Ralph and his and Nora. It's like, is this tweet interrupting your honeymoon? And I just got a shut up. We're watching WWE.
So apparently it was. I don't know. Maybe what you gonna do? So Sal, what do we want to do here? Oh, you want to talk about? I mean, everyone's fucking talking about it, so we might as well. I don't know. Do you want to talk about Susan Rice?
The thing is, there's probably new developments as we speak.
As we speak, yeah.
Talk about it.
Some fried Susan Rice. She in big trouble. And she said she didn't do nothing, apparently, on MSNBC.
A Fox News alert. Fox News report. Yeah, she's the one that asked for the names to be unmasked.
Yeah. She did the unmasking. And I tweeted out, collective consciousness has actually created reality again because one of our buddies, Battle Beagle, took a screenshot of Susan Rice fires back. I leak nothing to nobody. And he wrote, didn't do nothing intensifies. This is a double negative. I thought it was like a late April Fool's joke, but she said she actually said the double negative.
On a side note, a little inside joke between us right now.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
for some reason, like things we're saying, like things are just like coming together, like in funny coincidences, like
Right.
immediately after.
Yeah, that was weird.
Now, last on our I'll call episode 30 the forgotten or the lost episode.
Yeah, the lost episode. Hopefully YouTube can recover it.
But we were talking about movies, and we were talking about what they would be like if the white actors and actresses were replaced with black people.
Right.
And the one movie that we spoke the most about was Mask.
Mask.
Less than a week later, you got a black woman that unmasked
Yeah.
people. I think we had, I don't know.
We brought it to life.
Yeah.
We created reality, so we're the right is unstoppable. We're winning on the internet. You know, base elbow man and base stick man or whatever. We're winning on the streets. I mean, and I think the mainstream press is going to be so irrelevant. It won't even matter if we win in the mainstream press. What do you think of that?
Shit. I don't know.
I have no idea. Was that a rhetorical question, Ian? That Susan Rice article from Fox, has it been updated?
No.
So yeah, just play it. So if you've been hiding under a rock for the past 12 hours, you know.
You'll hear the Fox News alert when I hit play.
Yeah. Ooh.
I wonder if we'll lose. I wonder if we'll get suspended for that.
A Fox News alert, the unmasker has been unmasked. Former National Security Advisor to Barack Obama, Susan Rice, high-level official in the administration, requested to unmask the names of Trump officials caught up in surveillance. Joining us right now is Bloomberg View columnist Eli Lake, who broke the news with the name yesterday. Eli, good morning to you.
Thanks for having me on.
What would be the obvious need to unmask other than political curiosity?
Well, if you knew of an ongoing terrorist plot, if there was some sort of cyber attack and you needed to unmask the identity of a server or an institution that was being used, sort of taken over by bots to launch that attack.
Yeah, but
You think there were terrorist attacks being planned from Trump Tower during the primaries and then during the transition?
We just so happen to be listening to the other person that we picked up 20 other people's conversations.
Ridiculous.
You know, you read about Watergate and how that, unfolded. It was like every day, drip, drip, drip.
Yep.
So how long till she asked for immunity?
I don't know. She's pretty defiant.
Yeah, I mean, she was the one with the Benghazi line, right?
Yes.
It was all a tape.
I know it's not funny, but just thinking about how, Clinton at the funerals of the ambassador, or not even, wasn't it when their bodies were flown back to the country and she was there? So like, I just want to let you know, we're gonna get these people who made this person made the video.
Yeah.
Because that's what these these people were shot down by hordes of friggin' terrorists in Libya, and you think that their family members are like, damn man, I can't wait till they get this video, this guy that made a YouTube video that they killed my husband.
It's like
it's
that old thing is like, don't make the Muslims angry or they'll start killing. Like, don't offend them or they'll blow up a building.
And just the stupidity of that lie, and the fact that the media has to run with it because they defend everything the Democrats and the left says. It's
Right.
stupid. Like what's happening today is now all of a sudden, Rice didn't know anything, and now today, after all this was brought to light, now it was no big deal. It's stupid.
Didn't do nothing.
It's funny, but it's frustrating at the same time.
Yeah, because the media won't pick it up. And if this clock goes off another time, I'm gonna take the grandfather clock on my back and throw it out the window. Yeah, there it goes. Shut up. Jesus. If it's not the technology or issues, it's something else.
Every time that clock goes off, another Muslim kills someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Another Muslim gets a suicide vest. What else do you want to talk about? I'm bored. And so are our listeners. They're like, why are we listening to this still? They went through all their bits in like an hour.
I'm thinking about the albinos and the curing of the AIDS. I've never heard that before.
You Google it. True story. You might get arrested, but
how would I?
I don't know. You're being spied on by Susan Rice. I don't know.
No, I mean, like, what would I type?
Albino AIDS cure.
Albinos in Tanzania murdered or raped as AIDS cure.
Yeah, see? You thought I was joking.
There is a belief that if you have relations with a girl with albinism, you will cure AIDS. So there are many girls with albinism being raped.
And you thought I was nuts. You thought I was just making up stuff to sound good. No, there are shitty cultures out there that we don't want here, and that one is one of many. The raping of albinos is one of many. Sorry, folks. Sorry, albinos. You won't get raped by Tasmanians in the middle of Scranton, Pennsylvania this week.
1.4 million of them have AIDS out of their population of 40 million. They have albino hunters. They harvest their blood, their hair, their genitals, and other body parts.
Are they like ghost hunters?
For potions that witch doctors say bring luck and love.
Ooh.
So it's believed that a person with albinism is a curse. They are from the devil. They are not human. They do not die. They simply disappear.
They just poof into the wind. So yeah, in Tasmania, it's probably you're gonna have a bad time if you're albino. I'm assuming.
This social stigma prevented many girls from reporting rape, making it difficult to say how many albinos had actually been sexually abused. Well, if albinos are just disappearing, as they say, it is going to be impossible to know how many were abused.
Right. Yeah, because they're just gone. There's no one there to report it.
Yeah, they're big. They just become clear all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I never heard of this. So fucking stupid.
Speaking of AIDS, do you see in the docs the AIDS? Here, let me pull it up. You see that what I wrote?
Where is that?
It's where? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's at the bottom. Yeah, California State Senator Wiener wants AIDS wieners out of jails and in men's butts where they belong.
Oh, is this the guy that wants to decriminalize the spread? If a guy. Or if someone knowingly has AIDS and doesn't tell their partner,
yes.
Right now it's a felony. He wants to make it just a misdemeanor. I'm assuming.
Like, hey, mister, why is your demeanor so like that? I hate myself. Why did I say that?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. You can also I don't even have the article open. I just know this story. Also, as of right now, it's a felony that if you knowingly donate sperm or blood and don't tell them that you have HIV or AIDS, and they find out it's a felony, he wants to make sure that's not a felony anymore either. I don't understand why he. I mean, I know why he's saying it. He thinks that there's this stigma,
Right.
Surrounding people with this disease. I mean, there should be.
Right.
You have AIDS, get the fuck away from us. Our fucking blood or our fucking sperm, and don't fuck people without telling them you have it.
No.
If they still want to open their legs after you tell them that you have HIV, then that's their fault.
Right. I mean, it's fucked up. If you have AIDS, if you have HIV, and you don't tell someone and you purposely give it to them, you should be put in fucking jail. I think you should be executed. I mean, sure, it's kind of not a death sentence anymore, but still, it can be. It's like 50-50. And you're on medications the rest of your life. Your lifespan is shorter. You carry the stigma of having AIDS around. And I'm sure the AIDS medication isn't very fun.
I don't know. Every time I see Magic Johnson, he's always smiling. He's having a good time. I don't know why. You know who else is having a good time recently? I don't know the full story, but I've been seeing a lot of reports about Bill O'Reilly. Do you know?
Is he up to his old tricks again?
What are his old tricks?
I don't know, screaming at people, I don't know, banging young secretaries. What was that thing he got in trouble for?
He didn't he like leave some sexual messages on someone's voicemail and
yeah. Oh wait, was that Dan O'Brien of Access Hollywood?
I'm not sure.
Huh. Well, we have the entire planet of information at our fingertips. Let's find out. You get to listen to us Google again, folks. Aren't you lucky?
Well, I can read what's happening with the current situation. Pressure mounted on Tuesday for Fox News to take action against its top-rated host Bill O'Reilly as a series of prominent companies pulled advertising from his show, and a leading women's rights group called for his ouster. Following an investigation by the New York Times over the weekend that revealed multiple settlements over allegations of sexual harassment or other inappropriate behavior, by Mr. O'Reilly, the network faced a major advertising revolt by more than a dozen marketers who said they were withdrawing their ads from the O'Reilly factor. And escalating the tension, the National Organization for Women called for O'Reilly to be fired, and there's going to be an independent investigation, and they want to investigate the culture at Fox News.
Apparently, something's going on over there. Because, I mean, I just pulled it up. On October 13, 2004, O'Reilly was sued in a sexual harassment lawsuit for $60 million by his former producer, Andrea Matris. Apparently, it goes all the way back to May of 2002, all the way to September 2004. So O'Reilly is a naughty boy. And apparently, who was it? Who's the other guy? The big fat bald guy.
Big fat bald guy.
Who was in charge? What's his name?
Ailes.
Yeah, Roger Ailes. Yeah. He would have women sit on his lap and push on their diaphragm and tell him he was giving them lessons on how to project their voice. What a scumbag! Let me help you. No, not like that. Oh, I gotta move. Hey, do you mind if I just listen? This is nothing sexual. I'm just gonna move my left hand under your breast, and I'm just gonna push in a little bit, and I'm gonna take my thumb and I'm just gonna twerk your nipple a little bit, and that's gonna help you on air. It didn't happen that much, but he had women sitting on the laps, and he was going to give them vocal lessons. That's just like, even the conservative, it's going to die. They got rid of Red Eye, Fox News.
What did Red Eye do?
They didn't do nothing either. I don't know.
I mean, I think that show is just falling apart anyway. Since
I like Tom Shalhoub. He's a nice guy.
He's all right, I guess. But
Again, in the world of comedy, it's hard to find a decent fella, and Tom Shalhoub's a decent fella. I don't know. It sucks. Maybe they'll give Andy Levy his own show. Who knows? And I thought Fox was going for a younger demographic by putting Tucker Carlson in, because he's fun, and his ratings are really good. And then they go and cancel Red Eye, which was targeted to a millennial audience.
I mean, they still have what's his name that used to host Red Eye on his own show,
Greg Gutfeld.
but it's the same
Format.
rotating cast of people with what's her name, that blonde chick,
Cat
Timpf, some fat wrestler.
Yeah.
And then they always have another.
Like sometime Anthony Cumia is on.
Yeah, I think Pat Dixon was on it not too long, like a week or two.
Who?
Pat Dixon.
I was on that Red Eye. Yeah, we were making fun of the blacks. I couldn't believe these Muslims are all over the place.
So basically what's happening, I think some shit was dug up about O'Reilly.
Yeah.
And it says in this article that these groups are getting together to contact advertisers of O'Reilly, just the same thing they did to Don Imus. Remember when he said that the Rutgers women's basketball team were nappy-headed hoes? And a bunch of groups got together and made sure he lost a lot of advertising. They did it to Glenn Beck. He lost a crap load of advertising. That's why he had to leave Fox.
Yeah.
So O'Reilly's next on the list.
He's gonna get the X. They're giving him a lot of money. I mean, is his contract up?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the story well enough to know if this is gonna, get any more traction. Maybe that's why Hannity stays away from him. He just knows.
Keep your distance. You don't want to get sexually harassed by Ailes or O'Reilly.
I don't.
Maybe they'll hire a Muslim host. Maybe they're gonna go left wing. Maybe they're gonna try to take on MSNBC. They've had it with the conservative thing. They're like, we're losing to the internet. We're losing to new media. Not New Media Central, but we're losing to new media. Like sites like Cernovich's site, Adrian Blake, the RalphRetort.com, Breitbart, Daily Caller, Infowars. The list goes on and on. They're getting their ass beat. As far as a younger audience, so maybe they're going to go. Well, we're going to target white leftist professors. We're going to steal all of Rachel Maddow's audience, and they'll have a Muslim host. Maybe they'll get Ali Ahmed up on the show. Today in the news, we put the suicide vest on the goat. We put it in the middle of Munich, and it did not explode, so we brought it back to Kiev and fucked it.
I'm reading another part of this article for other things that O'Reilly did.
Right.
And I guess there's this restaurant, Sylvia's, that he ate at.
Oh, yeah, it's a famous soul food restaurant.
Yeah, he wrote that he was surprised to see black diners eat normally. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. He said he put in his mouth. I remember when that happened because it's a famous soul food restaurant in Harlem, and I guess he thought he could, I don't know, kind of feel black people's pain of hundreds of years of slavery by eating at a yummy black restaurant. Chitlins, I'm black now.
It was funny? This weekend, I took my wife and kids to Asbury Park. So we go go get some ice cream. We're walking back to the car. I'm like, I smell fried chicken. And then my wife points. We're walking right past the soul food restaurant. She's like, you need to shut up. That's as far as I got on that one.
Yeah, you can't. When the wife's around, you got to keep the naughtiness and the dirty and racial jokes at bay.
Yeah,
I have worked with my great
what the fuck
is that? What are you doing?
I'm scrolling here. Listen,
genius to the stars.
it's an ad on this article.
Okay, all right, play it now. The bells.
For whom the bells toll. So basically, at the end of this article, it's saying that the future of Bill O'Reilly at Fox News is in Rupert Murdoch's hands. And I don't think O'Reilly's going to go anywhere because his show generates over $100 million a year for the network.
Does it? Because he's not hitting the key demo. He's getting the old jokes, the catheters and the life insurance commercials and reverse mortgages and silver dollar people. Like, how much money can you generate from those advertisers?
Well, allegedly, what happens when you get these? A lot of people don't know this. I know it because I've heard about it from interning at radio, and I just read a sentence here that reminded me of this. What happens when advertisers boycott shows on networks? The networks and the sales department make deals with them. All right, so you don't want to, advertise your product on O'Reilly. How about we bring it over to Tucker?
Yeah.
So they basically shift ads around, and it softens the blow.
Well, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, kind of, shuffling the money around. But Fox isn't getting that demo. They want to get that. What is it? The 18 to 49 female demo is like the one you want, and that's why how MSNBC is still in business, even though the ratings suck. They're getting that key demographic. Fox could double or triple their audience, but it's with 75-year-olds, and they're all on Social Security, and it doesn't matter. Well, according to the advertisers.
Yeah,
I love my grandmommy.
Another thing that happens with these boycotts is eventually when it blows over, they come back. I'll bring up Imus again.
I'm Don Imus. I got my cancer kids working for free on my ranch.
There's a really popular radio ad in the tri-state area. That stupid Cars for Kids commercial.
You love that commercial.
Yeah, that 1877 Cars for Kids.
Okay, so that's only in the New York area, right?
I'm not totally sure, but
well, if people don't know, can you pull it up real quick?
It's the most annoying song.
It is, but it's gonna get stuck in your head. I promise.
All right.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna wait for the guy to come in because he sounds like a child molester. This part.
Keep going.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS.
I like to
Cars
fuck
for
kids.
1877 Cars for Kids.
I think
Donate
that's
your
enough, right?
car today.
Yeah, our audience is just got tortured enough.
Yeah, so on the Don Imus show, who he's simulcasted to a few other states.
All those states have all those nappy-headed hoes.
Every time that commercial would come on, he would flip out because he hated it, and he's like, "I hope all those kids die."
I hope they get run over by those cars. What do you think about that, McGurk?
They pulled that ad for like the longest time, and now when I'm driving to work, I'll turn them on for a while. It's back. So when it blows over, they come back.
Well, I think he doesn't remote his show remotely, so maybe he doesn't hear the commercial. He's at wherever his ranch is.
Well, he'll sometimes he'll stay on, and they'll forget to turn his mic off. So that's what happened. He's like, "This kids, I hope they all fucking die."
So, what got him in trouble was the nappy-headed hose thing, but him wishing death upon kids, that was okay.
Yes.
Hence, bring it around. We're so scared of being called racist to the point we're willing to die to not be called racist. Oh, you people, stop being fucks.
And what's funny is that the whole there's a big controversy surrounding the Cars for Kids as a organization, and I think Bill O'Reilly was the one that exposed them.
He exposed Cars for Kids.
Yes.
Wait, is it really Cars for Goldstein or something?
It's a registered a registered nonprofit Jewish organization. Like when you hear the when you see the billboards and you hear the ads, you see the kids and you think you're donating to some fucking cause, but the money goes to these organizations and they use it to send families back to Israel for their what is that called when they make
the right of return.
Yeah, they'll do that. They'll friggin' these organizations, they'll like the heads of them get friggin' cars for themselves and shit.
I got a nice car and I get to send my whole family to Israel. It's a mitzvah. Oh my God, that's terrible. Which group did we not make fun of today? Who are we missing?
I don't know.
Make fun of white people for being, fat cocks. Make fun of black people for taking nothing. Make fun of Muslims because they Jews with the money. What are we missing? We did albinos. We hit Tasmanians. We rarely ever go after the Tasmanians. So
I don't even.
I'm glad we did.
Said that
They needed to get a good talking to.
No, I mean, I've never even said Tasmanians before.
I don't even know where it is. Is that like Central Africa? I don't give a shit. Actually, I don't care. I don't care enough to even ask Siri.
What about all the what is it near the Congo?
I don't care. I don't give a shit.
You don't
in the docs. There's a video. There's a Russian Foreign Ministry April Fool's joke. CNN was not happy.
Oh, I heard about this. Let me pull this.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Do you get to hear the message?
Oh yeah, it's all there.
If it fucking loads. If there's a fucking ad on this, I'm gonna be pissed.
Probably will be
now because I played it. Fucking Google.
Oh, seems if you try and call the Russian Foreign Ministry today, you'll be given 3 slightly different options on its answer phone from normal, but just for today only.
You have reached the Russian embassy. Your call is very important to us. To arrange a call from a Russian diplomat to your political opponents, press 1. To use the services of Russian hackers, press 2. To request election interference, press 3 and wait until the next election campaign.
It's true.
That was good, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Who says they always say Russians and like Eastern Europeans are always angry and have no sense of humor?
I don't know what you're talking about. That was kind of funny.
I liked it. Well, CNN wasn't happy. Do you have the reaction?
Is that on the video too?
There should be a couple seconds left.
The problem is some Americans may not.
There you go.
It's an attempt to sort of laugh off the very serious allegations.
And living here for a few years, I do know the Russians actually have a very wicked sense of humor. I think the problem is some Americans may not take this as being so funny.
Well, the Americans that didn't find that funny are assholes, and I hate them anyway, so I don't care.
Luis thought it was funny.
Who?
Mensch or whatever her name is.
What, she didn't think it was funny or thought it was funny?
I'm asking you what you think.
Oh, no, I think she just, downed the bottle of lithium, Xanax, wine, and just drooled all over herself and screamed about Russia. Fuck her. Did she block you on Twitter again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
I think she's gonna get Rupert Murdoch to fire Bill O'Reilly.
That's true. She does have some strange influence over Rupert Murdoch, and apparently she's still on the payroll of News Corp, even though I don't know what the fuck she does, because she stepped down or got fired or whatever from Heat Street. which was a millennial cool dude rock and roll, website. Doing like kick flips and listening to Blink-182. Come to Heat Street, my dudes.
Aren't they basically like Vox or whatever that other site is?
No, Heat Street is like more conservative. But I try not to go there because I don't like some of the. I don't like Louise, and I think it's just Fox trying to be cool, and it's annoying.
Kind of like Cat Tim.
Cat Tim.
Or Cat Tim, whatever the name is.
Her glasses stink. But next week, we got a cool guest, right, Sal?
Next week?
Yeah, the 11th.
Next week.
Yeah, we're gonna have on Lucian Wintrich.
Yeah.
Who was a writer for the Gateway Pundit.
That's friggin' awesome, man.
Yeah, he's been yelled at many times in his short career with the Gateway Pundit. He was yelled at. I think he was in the White House press pool. He was yelled at by John Decker of Fox News Radio.
One ugly son of a bitch, that John.
Yeah. And he was also got a talking to and was yelled at by Malaria Obama at a 21 and over club.
That girl's just heading down the road to. You know what? She seems like every girl of that persuasion that we went to school with. The fucking attitude.
You think? But imagine those girls, because we lived into like the kind of working class neighborhood. Imagine that attitude times 1,000, though, because she's the ex-president's daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that bitch is untouchable.
Yeah, there's a story, an anecdotal one. Someone I know had an interaction with her. She was visiting a college or something, or I don't know. And the girl's bag was in the way, and she said, that fucking stupid white bitch bag in the way. Something like that. Allegedly. I'm paraphrasing, but she did something like that. True. It's a true story. I think, let's see, 1, 2, third hand.
Yeah, and then if you search her name, like the first couple results that come up are definitely, circling the wagons. If Malia Obama wants to smoke weed, let her smoke weed.
Yeah. Why not? Her dad did. I mean, if think about it. The last several presidents, who was the last goody two shoes president? Was it Carter? Like when they were a kid? Like, I don't know much about Reagan's childhood, but he was an actor. So I'm imagining him getting drunk and banging whores all the time. I mean, HW came from a wealthy family, same thing. Clinton, for fuck's sake, he's Bill Clinton. Need I say more? W was doing all the coke in Colombia, and Barack Obama, same thing. So I think the peanut farmer was the last goody two shoes. And of course, our current President Trump, he was a naughty boy. He was a ladies' man, as they say in high school, apparently, in college. So yeah, the last goody two shoes president, Jimmy Carter, also one of the worst. So apparently, it pays off to do a lot of coke and drink a lot when you're young. You too can become president.
And Malia's going to be going to Harvard.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so Lucian, that's an awesome guest. And then the week after that, we have another cool guest.
We haven't. Yeah, you tell. You booked it.
I booked it so he can come on and talk about his book, The Cannibal Cop.
Cannibal? Yeah, Cannibal Cop. He wrote a book.
Yeah, the Cannibal Cop was a popular, I guess you could say, police case here in New York City that involved him and his online shenanigans, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, what was he doing? You could say it.
He was in forums that had to do with, I guess, taboo things, and his thing was cannibalism. He having sex with and then eating the women. I guess he fantasized about it, and somebody, his wife caught wind of it and called the police. And so he went to jail for that, but that was tossed out after a while, and his life was ruined because of his thoughts.
Right. It's kind of like a hate crime. Hate crime. It's a thought crime. It's. Did you beat him because he was a different race, or did you beat him for the $50 bill in his pocket? Either way, you still beat him, and it stinks.
I think that would be cool to have him on. We met him, and he was nice enough to come on our show. So that's gonna be good stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to mute my microphone while the fucking church bells go off. I'm trying to be like Quasimodo.
We should have a religious show. The bells would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Have your wife in the background playing an organ.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go there. I know you're setting me up, but I'm not going there.
Seriously, you meant like a church organ, not your organ.
There, thank you. Okay, you said it. I didn't.
Okay, I was gonna go there. I want to see if you got it.
For fuck's sake. What else do you want to talk about? What else we got to talk about? We prepared a lot. No, we didn't. We prepared nothing. We went over the Newark woman. Oh yeah. So no, we can't pull up pictures. Fuck, I prepared that for pictures. What's this LA Times article you put in here?
Oh, this is what this is the Republican governor.
Yeah.
In what the hell? In Arkansas.
Bill Clinton.
No, this is better. This is way better than Bill Clinton with this.
Ooh.
Why are my links so slow? What the hell? Why won't it pop up? All right, he's going to execute 8 men in 11 days.
Jesus Christ!
They're calling it an assembly line of death.
It's an energy saver.
And you want to know the reason why he's doing this?
Please tell me.
Let's see.
Because it's hilarious. No.
Well, besides that. The anesthetic they use for the lethal injection cocktail called midazolam.
Don't try. Go ahead.
It expires at the end of the month.
Well, there you go. That makes sense. You got to use the last batch before it expires, because then you got to buy more Myleprozam or whatever the fuck it is, and then you're out another $200.
Yeah.
Fuck. You got to save that money. See, that's fiscal conservative responsibility. That's what I'm talking about.
So you like that?
I don't care. I'm kind of torn on. To be honest, to be serious, I'm kind of torn on the death penalty. So, like there's obvious cases, kid rapists and murderers where the DNA and it's like on film. Like I feel like they should fucking die. Imagine if it was your kid, But at the same time, imagine they got the wrong guy and he's innocent. Imagine that innocent guy was your kid. It could go both ways. I get it. I don't know.
You can't make this racial because it's 4 white men, 4 black men.
I don't make it racial.
So it's an even.
Well, it's not even because black men only make up 6% of the population.
Oh no!
So it's not equal at all, Sal. Actually, they're overrepresented in this little killing spree.
So 2 men will die each day on April 17th, the 20th, the 24th, and the 27th. So get your tickets now.
Yeah. Sunday. Well, are they gonna do like one white guy, one black guy, or are they gonna put them together?
Pairs and have them holding hands or something.
Yeah. Racial purity, racial conformity, and you're dead.
Your screen is your window to the world.
Ads?
So why wouldn't you want?
It was a nice, heavenly sounding ad on a death penalty article. That's what it was.
Oh, it's like, you're gonna die. You're gonna probably have lobster steak as your last meal, and the last thing you're gonna see is a bright light and you gurgling spittle.
That's
pretty morbid. Fuck Sal.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want to wrap it up. You want to talk about more stuff? We have.
Tired.
What do we have here?
How long have we been going on for?
A little under 2 hours.
Under 2 hours? We'd like to get to 2 hours. Because, I mean, technically, our friends and family that only listen to us now, but our audience hasn't had a patriarchy show in a long time because of last week's whatever the fuck that was. Hopefully, eventually, YouTube will get back to me. I mean, I'm not holding my breath. You mean, Sal? I'm no Lily Singh. You know, I don't dress up like a guy and go, "Hello, I'm Lily Singh's dad." Blubbity blubbity. I don't know what the fuck she does.
I don't know either.
I just know she's popular on YouTube. Isn't she like one of the most popular YouTube creators on YouTube, Lily Singh?
I believe so.
And it's a female Indian, so it's diversity. It's like YouTube Google's dream. I mean, if she was trans, only if she was trans would be better. You know, as far as promotions for Google and YouTube.
That's yeah. I honestly don't know much about her.
You don't want to.
I'm not big into YouTubing or YouTubers.
Neither am I. I mean, I'll listen to Ralph's show and Ralph's show and Justin Martin's show. Obviously,
I listen to.
I like his show.
We network with Justin, Ralph, and Fritz, and there's a couple of shows coming out soon that aren't out yet from people we know.
Yeah.
Latasha, who's supposed to be possibly going to be on our show next week.
She got a whole new logo makeover. It looks really nice.
Dude, she's freaking killing it right now. She's been making rounds on other sites. Some of our friends that have sites like Halsey News. We're gonna have one of their editors on our show soon.
Speaking of Halsey News, Stephanie, yeah, she's gonna be on.
She's Latasha, the libertarian lesbian. She's been on a show before, and what's funny is during that show with her, we spoke about this woman who was at a protest.
Yeah,
the one that was yelling, was she yelling that she's a professor?
Yeah, I'm a professor! I'm a professor!
Turns out she's this really weird artist that does lobster porn and all this other she does porn Salem witch trial art, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Like the Salem witch trials with dildos strapped to them.
Yeah. Burn the witches and the double dong dildo.
She dresses up in blackface so she could be what the hell was the slave's name?
Tabitha?
No, fuck. What the shit?
Google it. I think it was like Tabitha or some shit like that. But anyway, lobster porn. That's episode 27 was the lobster porn episode. That was funny.
Tibita. Tituba.
I was close enough.
Yeah, so because of that episode, because we spoke about her and her lobster porn, her crustacean kink, it turns out people actually search for that, and some of them get directed to New Media Central.
Oh, newmediacentral.net, your home for lobster porn.
And it's not really actual porn. It's just her dressed as a lobster with a strap on. It's really stupid shit.
Yeah.
And if she is she really a professor? Because if she was, I would not allow my kid to go to her fucking class. I would kick her right in her fucking.
Yeah, imagine your parents are paying money for that. Yeah, or vice versa. You're paying, your kids. You're paying for your kids to go to college for that. Oh, speaking of education and college education, I wanted to bring this up. I want to get a finance guy on. Someone that knows what about shorting and about the housing crisis and all that. Because I think there's a way you can short education loan companies. Because I think it's going to all come crashing down. And if you short it, you're going to make some money.
The only people I know a couple of Romanians that screwed around in the housing market and had to flee to this country.
Yeah, because they ripped off people.
They sold like fake deeds to people.
Oh my God.
They had to flee the country.
Back to Romania with you. Well, at least they have fast internet. According to Bernie Sanders. Remember that?
That was annoying.
In Budapest, the download speeds are 200 megabytes per second. We should have that here in America.
Yeah! You're gonna vote for a guy because of faster internet speeds? What the fuck is wrong with people?
Romania is greater than us at everything because of their internet speed.
They get the news 10 seconds faster than the rest of the world. And we cannot have that here in what is supposed to be the greatest country on the planet Earth.
My friend who I mentioned before goes back to Romania every year. And he says there's still parts of Romania where you walk around and there's still bullet shells all over the ground from their civil war.
Jeez. When was that?
Fucking decades ago.
Did they have bullets back in the 1600s? No. Yeah, we're talking about like Yugoslavia and all that.
So, they had like a short civil unrest in 1989.
Okay, I remember that. No, I don't. But go ahead.
Romanian Revolution. And
did they win? I don't know what happened.
It doesn't sound like it.
Nah, apparently not.
But they got very fast internet speeds out of it, and that's all that matters.
Maybe that's what the Civil War was all about.
Internet speeds.
We have to get rid of Romania's AOL dial-up. It makes the noise, and I hate it. They all have to go from the 33K modems to the 56K modems.
Yeah, Romanian Bernie Sanders.
Our country friggin' we slaughtered each other to try and allegedly to end slavery. They did it to end dial-up.
Yeah. we want to free a race of people. Hundreds of thousands of white people died to end slavery. But Romanians can't have that. Can't have the dial-up. Oh, this disc, I get 10 hours free. You kept getting the discs.
That's all you used to hear. Not anymore.
Yeah, you would get like the 40-hour discs and be like, oh fuck, I gotta get a new disc and a new screen name. Fucking those days. War's over, dial up. I don't know. But eventually, do you think we're gonna have racial tensions are very high right now, man. What do you think?
You think eventually we're gonna have some kind of larger scale, larger than the LA riots?
I think so. I mean, incidents are already happening. We covered the one earlier in the show where the woman from Newark was in Virginia, beat up a guy from Massachusetts for being a fancy white guy. I mean, that's not, but it's like the shot heard around the world. Maybe that's the one. It was a woman from Newark started the first race war in America, second race war in America.
A gas station. I'm freaking I-95 in Richmond.
Now, the world doesn't understand how lucky they have it that white people run it. I'm sorry. I'll say it. They don't. We didn't start slavery, but we fucking stopped it, didn't we? Huh? I mean, they're still doing slavery in Arab countries and African countries, for God's sakes.
Friggin' Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. The world should be, elated
They own people.
that a guilty people run the world that
own-
want to protect minorities.
They own blacks. They own Twitter. They own. What else do they own?
Do they own Black Twitter?
Yeah.
Technically, right?
Yeah.
Seriously, they should be happy we're running shit. You ever remember that? What was that show or that movie? Was it Newsroom or whatever? And someone they had that panel. Why is America great? The girl asked, and he goes, "Oh, because of diversity." And then the other guy goes, "Oh, because it's great, shining city on a hill." And then the guy goes, "Well, America's number 47th in education, and you're telling me that weapons of mass destruction?" I hate that. I fucking hate that clip. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I was thinking about this the other day because for some reason I stumbled across that clip on the internet, and it made me think that guy in Newsroom, that I forgot the actor's name. He was one half of the two in Dumb and Dumber. What the hell's that guy's name? Anyway,
Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, he was playing a Republican news anchor in the world of the liberal news, and that Newsroom series was written by a hardcore liberal, a friggin' someone that's
Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah,
so Aaron Sorkin that wrote it. Yeah,
that whole clip, that was the very first clip of the entire series.
Yeah,
where America isn't great, they're not the greatest, and he went through the ranks, and he went and. Liberals applauded that scene. They were all over Twitter like, yeah, see what I mean? But then when you have, a candidate come out and say, I want to make America great again.
Right.
What are you talking about? America, what do you mean to make it great again? Like that I wonder if, I don't know if it was like a happy accident or maybe Trump saw that clip.
Maybe it's like, I don't like this. We got to change it. America's tremendous. I know, and he in the clip he complains about education, which bugs me out because the NEA, the teachers union, runs education.
Yeah,
they're the ones fucking it up. And I know this is old, and Jeff did this Aaron Sorkin bit. Billions of people have talked about it. It just bugs me out so badly. What are we? 300 million people, 350 million people. Then a couple, a bunch of illegal immigrants or whatever. I'm talking about the citizenry, about 350 million, 360 million people. We account for almost every single, medical innovation.
Yeah.
We have an entertainment sector because our culture is awesome, according to the rest of the world in Hollywood. We have a technology sector called Silicon Valley. We have energy sectors and energy powerhouses in Texas. We have financial powerhouses, Wall Street.
Yep.
What other country in the world can come near to having anything like that? Fucking Bollywood? Yeah, okay. And we're living in a box.
We're less than 5% of the entire world's population.
Less than 5% of the world, where we come up with over half of the, medical innovations. For God's sakes, we're so awesome. Our last president was engaged in perpetual warfare and still won a Nobel Peace Prize. Good job, drop the bomb. That's how awesome we are. Droning the shit out of everyone. And, we're so awesome. Nobel Peace Prize. Look at that. I fucking hate that. And like I was saying earlier, the teachers' unions, which are leftists, which are run by Democrats, run the education system. So if you're going to complain about the education system, look in the fucking mirror, fag. I just had to throw fag in there because I haven't said that much this episode. Look in the mirror.
You're right.
And same with the cities. Again, we're gonna have to go there. Gonna have to go there. Sensitive subject. Fuck you. Don't care. Try to name me one majority Black or Hispanic neighborhood that you would feel comfortable walking in at night? Go in America. Waiting. Okay. And that's as a white person. Now, name me one white neighborhood where a black or Hispanic at night can walk comfortably in. Almost all of them!
Exactly.
I don't fucking hear it. I'm sick of it. I'm just, you know, that's why we started this show. Because, you know, I'm angry and fed up. You're angry and fed up. And, you know, we want to talk about it and vent about it in a way where we're allowed, where we can, and not worried about getting cut off. I mean, we're doing this on YouTube, so it's only a matter of time, you know? I mean, liberals in the left have already found our iTunes account, our podcast account, and given us 1 stars. So that's only a matter of time.
Fucking crawling under your skin.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. But for now, we're going to say whatever the fuck we want. And what we were discussing is that eventually, you know, Verizon will go, oh, we can't have that website on our ISP, so we're going to drop them. And they go, okay, then we'll stream it from Comcast. And Comcast goes, yeah, they say faggot too much. No. And then you go, what about fucking Net Zero? You know, there's no one left.
Yep. Yeah, they'll tell YouTube, you know, if you don't get rid of this guy, well, you know, you won't be on our friggin' servers. You know,
pull their ads. I mean, we could set up stuff through our website. We've done it before. We had the streamer there. We could do it through newmediacentral.net. But, you know, I'm talking, you know, I'm going towards, you know, even bigger than that. The ISP actually censoring people, you know, censoring people like, you know, Alex Jones, and censoring people like Mike Zerner, but even you know, white nationalists. Yeah, if you agree with them or not, I don't fucking care. Then don't listen. Don't listen. It's that easy. You know, there are shows for black nationalists and every other fucking nationalist, and that's okay. You got a Jewish nationalist show. You got Muslim supremacist show, which is every mosque in America is a Muslim supremacist show. Exactly. That's okay. But I say faggot a couple times and make a astute observation about black neighborhoods. I'm a racist. That's it. I'm a racist.
That's the way it goes nowadays.
And again, this goes back to me pointing out why the world is lucky we rule it. Because if the roles were reversed, the Muslims would demand. I think what was it? Where's Chris Logan when you need him? I think it's some sort of tax, religious tax that minority religions have to pay. So if you're if you're Christian, I believe, or Jew, you would have to pay that tax. I think atheists and polytheists like Hindus would be killed.
Jizya, some.
Yeah, jizya. Yeah, the jizya man.
Jizya.
Jay-Z. You gotta pay Jay-Z money
if you want to live with Muslims.
Yeah. No, you do. That's the way it is. You know, and they, like I said, they still have slavery in Africa and sub-Saharan Africa. You know, China. How many people did the communists kill of their own? Not even minorities, of their own.
Equal to more than a third of our country's population.
And another thing that drives me absolutely insane. People walk around with the fucking hammer and sickle like it's okay. Yeah, communism. You know, if I was in charge, it'd be different. It would have worked out okay. Because I took a couple college classes in Intro to Marxism. But God forbid you want a Nazi cake. Seriously, though. Like, yeah, sure, what the Nazis did, I hate that I have to qualify it. It should be automatic.
Yeah.
Assume automatically that, yeah, killing millions of people was a bad thing. Like, hey, I have to qualify that. Just that. But the communists, way worse. And we've been at war with communists way longer.
Yeah.
We're still at war with them with North Korea, technically.
Do you know that when the Russians occupied Germany, how many women were raped? Like they estimate like close to 240,000 cases by Russian Soviet troops.
Yeah, and where were the communists going? Which way were the people fleeing? Right?
Yeah.
They are the world should be kissing our fucking feet. Not my feet, Donald Trump's feet, but no, in general. White people do a good job of running shit and figuring things out and putting things together. We're good. We do good at that. Everybody has a certain trait or an average that generally applies to that type of person. I mean, it's not my fault. Blame God if you want to, blame anybody. I guess I don't know. Talk to the creator, not me for pointing it out.
People say that technology is going to advance and it's going to bite us in the ass.
Right.
It already happened. They were our technology.
Yeah. They were our farm equipment.
And now they're they've now they could think for themselves a little bit, and now they're
Good job, Sal. that old joke.
That old joke.
No, the antique farm equipment joke. Come on.
Yeah.
Get with the program, Sal. Get with the program. No, but it's just annoying. And I see it every day that you have to go, well, I'm not racist, but XYZ, or I don't support that, but XYZ. Yeah, of course you don't support rape and murder. Fucking duh. I mean, unless you're talking to someone in jail, maybe I guess they have to qualify their statement, if they're a Nazi skinhead in prison, maybe then, okay, allow the qualification of statements. Average guy with 2 kids living in stupid fucking New Jersey. Yeah, no shit, killing millions of people is wrong.
Idiots.
And that's the bottom line.
Maybe now we should close it out.
You think so? With my little racist rant? I don't think. Again, wasn't racist. People will obviously take it that way. I mean, we've already been called hate speech because we express our opinions, and it's just we're not going along with the leftist sort of high mentality. I apologize. And someone said that we regurgitate talking points. I, on purpose, do not listen to that much mainstream radio just so I can develop my own ideas. Maybe they suck. Maybe that's where my ideas suck. I don't know. I don't know. But they're not talking points. I'm not getting emails from GOP.com and going, okay, so all right, so Mitch McConnell has a huge cock. Okay, Mitch McConnell has a huge cock. Did you hear about this one, Sal? Not doing that.
No.
I mean, the only I listen to alternative podcasts. I listen to a lot of Compound. I'll check out the Rapporteur. I'll check out a couple other shows. That's it. Yep. I read a fucking ton. I read a lot. I have one of those. I know a lot of people love the feel of a real book. I have a Nook Glow. Works fine. Pop the book right in.
Works good.
People need to start figuring shit out for themselves. They're getting all this information, fed to them. Even what I'm saying right now, whatever I'm saying right now, you go Google, go see if I'm wrong, please come back and email us, info@newmediacentral.net. Info@newmedia if you disagree with us.
Yeah.
Well, we might even have you on. I'll debate and yell a lot, but we'll have you on.
You say all of this, but I fucking guarantee that these people that are saying that we're hate speech don't even listen to us.
No.
And we know for a fact that one or two of the people that are giving us shitty reviews only did it because I pissed them off on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get this guy. 1 star. Whatever. Give us the hate. Come on the show. Talk to us. Let's have a discussion. I mean, like if earlier we had Chris Logan on loganswarning.com. If you think he's wrong about Islam, you go look it up. Go to a mosque. Just make sure you don't have any bacon in your pockets.
You're not going to beat him because he's a fucking walking encyclopedia of Islam.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And the points, the main points, there's a few main points in the argument that Muslims can't refute is, will you condemn this verse in the Quran? And they can't. They can't. Christians, and then they try to deflect. Oh, Christians had the Crusades, and that's a whole other conversation. But they try to deflect constantly. They can't take the argument for what the argument is. They try to deflect. And Christians, we had a 2.0. Jesus, it's Easter season. 2.0 Christianity now. What do you have? A guy that rapes 9-year-olds. Oh, lucky you.
With liberals, you can you can change the subject and you get like the same type of result.
Right.
When you're debating, like instead of Islam, make it about not even politics, the Constitution.
Right.
You could pull out a little pocket Constitution and say, well, you're wrong because right here in article whatever, they'll be like, no, so what if it says that?
Yeah, I know somebody that XYZ. I mean, I use a lot of anecdotal evidence to make my points, to back up statistical evidence, but that's all they usually have is anecdotal evidence. It's like I have 5 stories that'll make you say, fuck the law and do what I say. Okay, liberal.
I saw an article by some douche that was shared on Twitter that was trying to convince more people to watch satirists and comedians because they're the ones that are holding the administration accountable more than the mainstream media is. So you should be watching The Daily Show. You should be watching the late night talk shows.
John Oliver, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Really? Is that where you're getting your information from? Listen, I hope to God this isn't the only show you're listening to right now. I pray to the Lord this isn't it. There's more. Please don't. Please. I beg of thee. There's, of course, Crime Report at compoundmedia.com you have to listen to.
Yeah.
For God's sakes. That and this show, and then you'll have the Ralph Retort and Justin Martin show, and you'll have everything you need in life to battle liberals, I think.
And
I'm not that confident.
One last thing about information. I don't know if I could pull it up now, but yeah, I could pull it up. You gotta be careful of where you're going for the information because, like, what the hell's the name of the show? Murdering Joe Scarborough.
Yeah, Murdering Joe.
Him and Mika Brzezinski, or however you say her last name.
Mika Warmongerski.
Yeah. They had a journalist on. This woman, her name was Tina Brown.
Right.
She was on here crying about Donald Trump's defunding, cutting federal funding for Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
And she went on to say and she falsely claimed that Planned Parenthood provides mammograms, and that if you defund the abortion giant, more women will die of cancer.
Okay, so if you defund Planned Parenthood, a bunch of women's boobs are going to fall off. Then we'll talk about fear mongering, but go ahead.
But a lot of people, I'm sure you've been in debates with people who are pro-choice. They use that argument. Planned Parenthood. They help women with cancer. No, they're not. They're a referral service. They don't do. They never did mammograms, ever. Their founder, or well, not their founder, their CEO back in 2015 admitted during a congressional testimony that they never did mammograms. She doesn't even know where that started, she said.
Right.
And
and once a lie gets wings, man.
And for a fact that Brzezinski and Scarborough know this.
Yeah, just nodding their heads.
Scarborough, he's been in Congress. I'm sure. The same topic has come around to him a few times. I'm sure he brought his intern to Planned Parenthood a couple times. So, before he killed her. But what I was saying is, you got to be careful of where you're going to get your information, because assholes like these, they know the truth and they don't want you to know it.
Yeah, and that's the insidious part. It's not that just they're misinformed or mistaken or ignorant of the topic. They're misleading you on purpose. If I mislead a listener or somebody, it's because I'm a retard and I just don't know any better. It's not on purpose, I swear. It's not because I'm getting talking points from GOP.com. It's because I'm dumb. Or I don't know, or I'm ignorant. And that's why you have to read a lot, and that's why I read a lot.
Exactly.
That's the insidious part. Knowingly misleading the public for their own gain.
I wrote about that from 2006 to right up to when we started New Media Central, all about how all about I always called it the two-party paradigm, just to keep us divided.
Right.
But both sides of the mainstream are both part of the establishment, and they want to keep us divided to stay in power. Bottom line, it's so simple. I don't know why people don't see it.
Well, and it's getting to a fever pitch. They've been stoking the fire, but it's getting to a point where I don't think they're gonna be able to control the fire. I think one of our buddies that we've had on the show at Seattle for Truth even said it. Black Lives Matter is turning on its parent organizations at one point.
Yeah.
You can listen to past episodes of Seattle for Truth, him talking about that. He knows a lot about George Soros. I think he has a YouTube channel, Seattle, the number 4 Truth. Go on.
You should know more about George Soros and how I used to like saying the establishment. Now it's a lot of people call it the deep state.
Right.
This is important shit.
Right. I mean, you had 60 Minutes tried to do a hit job on Mike Cernovich. Love him or hate him, whatever. I think he nailed the interview. I mean, because they're going to edit it and do all they can in research, and they have 5 producers feeding the interviewer information for 3 days prior. And Mike's just sitting down. It's on Mike Cernovich, he's going to answer the question. And then and then what happens? They call him fake news the next day. Not fake news.
Yep.
With the Susan Rice unmasking.
Yeah, I have to look into something with that, because I heard a radio host on the way home from work today give somebody else credit.
Yeah, it's a Bloomberg reporter, I believe.
No, it was a very popular conservative host. I have to look into it, because I'm hoping I heard him wrong, but it sounded like he was giving credit to somebody from what the hell's that news organization? The hell's her name? I'll get it.
Just say it. Who cares? Just say it. If we're
wrong,
we'll say we're wrong.
Sean Hannity.
John Hannity.
He's had this investigative reporter on recently.
Right.
Really good. She's basically the one that figured out there really were FISA warrants.
Okay.
But it sounded like today he gave her the credit for breaking the unmasking story.
Right. Whatever. It happened. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It happened. The news purposely misled you to thinking, he was just putting out fake news. I mean, if you look at some of his older tweets, it's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Menstrual juice get you going in the gym or some shit? It's like, okay. Let's not talk about that one. Whatever.
I want to hear him.
If I go through my 13,000 or 14,000 tweets, there's going to be several doozies.
Yeah. I haven't even been on for a month, and I'm sure there's a few dozen.
You've already got banned from Twitter in less than a month.
On my second account.
Yeah. Well, and you notice it's always after we talk about Islam. It's not even the liberals, really. It's the Muslims go after you, and they mass report you.
Yeah, you didn't even know that. A pretty popular Twitter guy, Pizza Party Ben, was permabanned from Twitter just for saying I am Muslim now.
I changed my mind. You know what, guys? I was thinking about it. Being a Muslim doesn't sound so bad.
So they got sick of his shenanigans and they booted him.
Yeah. Well, it's like we said before, it's gonna come to all everybody. It's gonna hit the like Milo Yiannopoulos and Cernovich and the bigger voices at the top. Then it's gonna trickle down and hit guys like us. It's gonna trickle very far down, but it'll hit us. Like I make no bones, I the reason why we do this is because it's fun. I have a good time. This is fun for me. I get it all out. It's like therapy. Ooh. No, but it's relieving to get it all out and to actually help people learn truth. When if you watch Jimmy Fallon, you think all Muslims are kumbaya and they don't want to blow you up. Remember the one Muslim with the free hug sign turned out to be a terrorist? Remember that? Oh, look, he's just look at him. Free hugs. He just wants to be a nice fella and just give out free hugs. And then, a year later, he's cutting off people's heads in the middle of London or something, or ISIS. What was his name?
The free hugs.
Google free hug Muslim. See, this is where we need Chris Logan on all the time. Maybe get him a third mic. We talk about Islam a lot because I think it's an extreme danger to the West. That's why we bring it up.
In Nottingham?
Was it in Nottingham?
I believe it was Nottingham, yeah. Let's see. His name. This was after the Paris attacks.
Okay.
But he was arrested in Nottingham. Where's his name? Come on. I got to open it up.
Yeah, Muslim convert who held up hug trust sign now faces jail over MP bomb threat. It was a bomb threat. Okay, that's what it was.
Reading his name.
Maybe they're not saying. Go ahead.
Yusful. Yusful. Pirtot. Pertot.
Wait, is that another one? Is there two of these guys? Because I'm looking at someone else. I'm looking at like a white guy that converted or something.
A British Muslim teenager took to the streets of Nottingham to offer strangers free hugs while blindfolded in an effort to combat Islamophobia. And then it says he was arrested.
Yeah, I'm looking at someone else. How many are these Muslims out there offering free hugs in the UK that eventually turn out to be terrorists?
He's
apparently a lot.
But he was wearing an explosive vest.
Oh my God.
Oh, I see the one you're probably looking at.
Yeah, 23 years old, right?
What the hell?
See? This is what I'm talking about. And but they won't really talk about the aftermath of the free hug. It's like those when a newspaper gets something wrong and then they'll bury it, on page 63, the retraction. I remember right before we started NewMediaCentral.net, what really got me angry was a little stupid thing out of a newspaper out of Columbus, Ohio. I want to say the Columbus Dispatch or the St. Louis Dispatch. I think it was the Columbus Dispatch. But they're commenting on the Trump rally in Chicago. You remember that?
Yes.
That got shut down. And in the I guess what was it, the cut line or whatever, the caption under the picture of Trump speaking, it says the Chicago rally had to be shut down because Trump supporters became violent.
Yeah.
It's like, what? You gotta be so I kept trying to get in contact with the editor, trying to, hey, are you gonna do a retraction? You know this isn't true. And then the photographer got upset because the cut line was underneath one of his pictures, and he was a Pulitzer Prize winning photographer. So me and him are going back and forth with the editor, waiting. It took I think a week or two to get a retraction. But they never talked about it. They never really published it. I think it was it was one of those things buried in the newspaper and never published on the internet.
The only thing I would probably bury on my website is if somebody wrote something that was just stupid or embarrassing, and we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, there's a delete button for that.
Exactly. Now, I mean, that's not going to change anytime soon in the mainstream media.
Right.
I tweeted some stupid friggin' bitch today.
Flattering us, Al.
She works for.
That's how you got your life.
I was like, you stupid fucking bitch, marry me. She's crying about how newspaper sales are plummeting, and she's wondering why.
People aren't buying birds anymore. I don't know what to tell you. Not enough to line in the bird cages.
I told her that she posted this graph, and it was showing the sales. It was showing jobs and everything.
Right.
The amount of actual people working for papers was dropping too. I said it's an indictment on your work.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with fucking wage gaps. It has nothing to do because that's what she was trying to tie it into.
Oh, with the wage gap somehow? People aren't buying newspaper because women are writing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a possibility. That's another thing.
That'd be understandable.
Sal, I'm sorry to say, outside a Maya Angelou and Emily Dickinson and a few others, famous female poets, go. Good luck. I mean, I think an English major would be able to rattle them off, but as far as common knowledge, not going to happen. Not going to happen. See, maybe that's what it is. No, stop it. There are plenty of good female writers. J.K. Rowling, for goodness sake. Who doesn't love Harry Potter? I know someone who doesn't, and that would be me.
I don't either. But you can't
Sick of
deny
it.
the success it's had.
Yeah, no, well, fucking, multi-billion-dollar industry. Who wouldn't want to do that?
I don't know any famous female poets. I know male.
I just told you Emily Dickinson and Maya Angelou.
They got nothing on Andrew Dice Clay.
Hey, Blu-ray. He needed the money. Hickory dickory dock. The Muslim blew up his cock. Oh. That's for sure. Oh, well, wow. How long? Wow. Okay, so we were like, oh, we're all going on for five. How much time we have?
We are at 2 hours and 18 minutes exactly.
Oh shit! And that's with one guest, Sal. So it was mostly us babbling. So people are gonna listen to the first 50 minutes and stop. No, but you were saying about newspaper sales declining. I noticed as newspaper sales decline, our listenership goes the other way. You notice that, Sal?
It's the wage gap.
It's the wage gap. It's because of the patriarchy. It's exactly because of us. We're keeping them bitches down. Barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen and shit. How dare we? How dare we allow women care for children like the nature intended? We're terrible people. How dare we?
I don't know, man. We're evil.
Apparently. I mean, apparently, I remember there was a feminist or somebody out there that said that women who don't go out into the workforce should be fined or some bullshit. You remember reading that? These people are nuts. You have a gift, women, if we have any women listeners, the one or two, if any. It's called giving birth and taking care of children. Listen, you're shaping the future of civilization. I'm screaming into a microphone. Big shit whoop.
That's a good promo. I'm gonna cut that out.
Yeah.
Screaming into the mic, big whoop.
You're shaping the future. You're taking a mind and teaching a child right from wrong and raising them properly. You want to give that up to be a substitute teacher and yell at other kids while then you drop your kid off at another daycare so that daycare watcher could leave their kid to watch your kid? What the fuck? That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm going to get a job where I leave my kid with another woman who decided to get a job so she could leave her kid with another woman so they could watch a kid so the woman initially who dropped the kid off could go teach. Figure that out, Sal. I can't even figure it out.
You lost me.
I lost myself. Like, it's for what, a couple extra thousand?
Yeah.
You know? And your kids losing out on these precious moments with their mother that they'll never be able to get back. It sucks, man. And this is what's being forced down people's throats when it should be cocks. Come on. That was the easy joke. That's the easy joke. Low hanging fruit, baby. Let me bite that apple right off that branch. You want to go? I'm done.
Yeah, we should. Alex Jones was roofied.
Nah, stop it. No, he wasn't.
I
thought Roger Stone was roofied.
Alex Jones was roofied. He reports for the first time in this interview discussing deep state pedophiles.
The deep state. They put something in my drink, and then they took my pants off, and they said, "You're gonna get it." And they just stick his dick right in my ass. I couldn't believe it. I was paralyzed from the waist down.
Their dick,
but not from the chest up. I had a good time with that.
So their dick was in a deep state inside of your anus. All right, I'm going.
No, that was good. I was just looking at something. I ruined that joke for you. I'm sorry.
You know what? I think it's time.
Yeah, that's the signal. Right there's the signal. I'm trying to find the fucking closing, so hold on. Yeah, wait a minute. Get the fuck out of here.
Maybe you should read it like Alex Jones.
Alex Jones here. Thanks for listening. Make sure you take 10 seconds and give us 5 stars on iTunes. It helps us spread our message and get back at the deep state.
So yeah, 5 stars. I'm not gonna do this. It's gonna hurt my throat. Yeah, so 5 stars on iTunes, please. It would be helpful. We love you. We don't. No, we might. I don't know. If you're a good-looking fella. Of course, we're the Patriarchy Show, and we're brought to you by NewMediaCentral.net. New Media Central is an independent network of new and younger conservative and libertarian voices, and all different sorts of nationalists. I think we have a monarchist now. I don't know, fuck, a bunch of different ists. Is that for leftists? Or Islamists? Yeah. Find informative news, commentary, and thought-provoking podcasts. We're I'm trying to read this because I wrote it a while ago. My copy stinks. We're independent of PAC and mainstream media influence, so we appreciate any help you can give. So if you go to the homepage and you see the PayPal donate button and you feel like, this is pretty good for free shit, let me give a nickel. Hey, you know what I will do? I will send you a PDF copy of my book, Broken. It's a poetry book that I wrote back in college. So if you're into that sort of thing, I don't know, whatever. It can be purchased on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in hard copy, or you can get an ebook, iBook, Nookbook, Kindle, whatever. Follow me on Twitter at Ian D. Erickson. Follow the show at Patriarchy Show. And you can follow the network to see what guys like Justin Martin is up to, or Cater Endless, or what other articles Jack Smith is coming out with, in the UK, at New Media Central. And of course, Sal, your Twitter is?
It's at Sal at NMC. The word Sal at NMC.
Yeah, the word Sal, the word at, the letters NMC.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And of course, we don't forget heartofamarine.org. Heartofamarine.org. The Heart of a Marine Foundation is a nonprofit organization that provides comfort, support, financial assistance, and educational resources to improve the quality of life of military personnel in all branches of the United States Armed Forces, including veterans and their families. And again, I want to thank Chris Logan for coming on. Thank you, Chris Logan. You can find out his work on newmediacentral.net. But of course, his website, loganswarning.com. You can find him on Twitter at Logan's Warning, just the number one. Not the word number one, just the actual number one, of course. And so next week, who we have? Lucian Winrich of the Gateway Pundit. He'll be on, and I guess we'll get into malaria, Obama, and Decker, and maybe we'll get into other stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
I want to know
what
the first question is going to be.
What?
He hasn't asked the question yet at any White House briefings. I want to know what his first question will be.
Yeah, there you go. Put that in the show notes right now.
Got it.
So that's next week, and we might have a second guest, not sure. Or it could just be me and Sal yelling again for 2 hours. Lucky you. And with that, let's get the fuck out of here.
They're out.